Welcome back to... Yes? How can I help? The first thing to say is, in a recent episode, there was some controversy over a very long first answer, which I gave to someone and which was deemed not to be within the time. Alex didn't start the clock until, so we had almost 2.5 minutes added on to the normal episode. Easy one. That caused a bit of debate in the comments about exactly how the timing works, and it was suggested by somebody, a man called Chris, that we should employ a referee to keep more accurate time. For the first time, therefore, we have an official on the job.
Timekeeper, yeah.
So Rob, timekeeper with the stopwatch. He also has, as you can see, a flag, a whistle, and almost complete authority to discipline, well, Alex in particular.
Let's call it total authority.
We're going for total authority.
Total authority!
So this will be the first refereed. Yes, how can I help? I'm just trying to find the... Yeah, here it is. The person who asked what ended up being that epic question says, I felt seen. Nobody else's comment ever received 2 minutes and 28 seconds of attention. Mark Watson is my best friend, he says.
Lies.
Yes.
Lies.
This is very bad for my fantasy of going to the UK one day and meeting my favourite comedians. Well, good luck to you. Thanks also to the person watching in West Virginia, who enjoyed the West Virginia jumper. And thanks to the person who... I'm in an ongoing chat about quantum physics with people in the comments, but I don't really know much about it. This person says, we think some quantum things fundamentally have no size. There is a strong theory that the electron is a point-like particle having a radius and volume of precisely 0. That's tiny! The electrons are so, I'm sorry, tiny.
Language, please.
I knew.
We've got a gentleman in the background.
Sorry.
You don't like swearing, do you?
Cyclist.
I don't mind. He doesn't mind, in fact. He doesn't mind too much. Yeah, okay. Play on.
We begin with a question about this. If AV Folds and Sons are upholsterers, who are the downholsterers? I was hoping not to have to tell you about the downholsterers, but they're basically, as you can imagine, the opposite of upholsterers. They're the natural enemy of upholsterers. Every night, the downholsterers go into... that was a very tight one. You can see how tight that lamppost was. We'll go into the road here.
Back, boys.
Thank you.
You're
welcome. The downholsterers go into AV Folds every night and they downholster everything. In other words, they undo all the upholstery. They tear apart seams, they wreck fabrics. Sometimes they just chuck the upholstered items onto the floor. Downholsterers are bad news. Awkward with a curve for Alex there.
Well played, Alex.
Thank you. That's nice.
Yeah. Well played, Alex.
You don't think of
a bit
a
of respect from the referee. No,
congratulations, people.
Yeah,
that's very nice. So the referee is got two sides to him.
How much time are we on?
Time check. We are pushing 2 minutes.
There we go.
Let's get on with it. All right. Come on, please.
Once in the north of Iceland, I saw a flock of geese flying northwards. I tried to warn them that there's only cold sea that way, but they ignored me. Is there a secret landmass somewhere in the Arctic Ocean only migratory birds know about? Yes, the birds of the world have a secret country that they pop up to whenever they feel like it. Obviously, it's in the sky, but it's in a different bit of the sky from planes and stuff, so you don't see it. It has...
speculation.
It has... a reminder that this... I'm always right. I play the role here of it.
Play on, Mark's always right.
Thank you. Thanks, ref. Good refereeing. Yes, they have things like a swimming pool, loads of bird restaurants and bird cafes, and a bird Westfield called Breastfield, as in the breast of a robin.
Pause for artistic interpretation of the birds.
Absolutely. You don't often see referees do that. Shouldn't the back...
Should we play on?
Yeah, play on, Mark.
Shouldn't the back of the knee have a better name? It's pretty important. No, I don't think it is that important. I've got more than enough to do without naming the backs of my knees. So I'm going to say, no, it doesn't matter what the back of the knee is called. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to give a yellow card to the person that asked that question.
Oh, there we go.
Strange question. Very strange
question. First
question.
booking. We sometimes do have strange questions. As nearly always happens, there was a question about your friend and mine, the big old chap out there, the moon. Thank you for answering my last question. Due to tidal interactions, the moon is receding from us 2 centimetres per year. Should we use a lasso or something to keep it near? Or nah? This is yet another suggestion that we should in some way interfere with the moon, something which seems to be an obsession for some of our regular viewers. I do not think that the effort it would take to lasso the moon for the sake of keeping it back those 2 centimetres every year, I don't think it's justified. I think it would cost millions of pounds unless somebody had already got an enormous lasso, but I don't think such lasso exists. In the same way, I don't think a big enough flatbread exists to dunk into the moon were it made of camembert. Someone has suggested lots of little flatbreads. It wouldn't work. So no, I don't think we should lasso the moon. And to be honest, I'm getting just a little bit rattled by... Oh, hello.
Just eat, but on
He's
wearing a Just Eat jacket, but he's got a delivery bag.
Yeah, and that's actually quite a common feature of the gig economy. Obviously, people chopping and changing, doing multiple jobs, and I've written a novel about that, which comes out next month. No, yeah.
Play on, let's get on with it.
Next
Come on.
year!
Yeah. Play on, get on with it, come on.
How are we doing on time?
We are on 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
And that's,
Play on.
of course, you can add on time at your discretion.
Yeah.
So, no lassoing of the moon. I also am not going to eat the moon or replace the moon. I love the moon as much as you do, but I think we should show it the respect to not interact with it very much. Also, that means even if I live for another 30 years, the moon's still less than a metre further away. I don't think I'm going to notice that. Big F's, all of these.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, is it, Mark? We're going to be all right.
It's not a big deal,
yeah,
Raph.
we're going to be all right.
Thanks, Raph. If the quantum friends are our littlest friends, what are our biggest friends? Oh, there's some big stuff out there. I think the biggest things out there are, you've guessed it, planets. Some of the
I
planets.
thought you were going to say Mayo.
No, I often do mention Mayo, but it's not appropriate here, Alex. Some of the planets, I don't want to get all Brian Cox on you. Or is it Sir Brian Cox, or is the other one Sir? Anyway, some of the planets are effing massive, huge. Some of the
I want to hear you say it, Mark. Say it.
Some of the planets are fucking massive. Right?
Wait for the flag for that.
You think the Earth is big because you've got Spain and Japan, and there's other ones as well. Jupiter, I'm sorry for the language again, shits all over us. The planets are our biggest friends, the quanta are our littlest friends.
Good answer. Play on.
Thanks, Ref.
6 minutes.
Which would be best and why? Only being able to see the world in a single shade of red, or for the rest of your life hearing on an endless loop Holding Back the Years by 90s band Simply Red. The first thing I'd like to say is I think Holding Back the Years came out in the 80s, and I generally would describe Simply Red as an 80s band, although of course they were still active in the 90s, and I guess they're still active now. And a friend of mine tutors the daughter of Mick Hucknall, the lead singer.
Was that a name drop I heard?
Yeah, yes. Sorry,
Play on.
Sorry, Ref. Sorry,
Play
Ref.
on.
The ref knows a lot of rules which were not clear to us until we employed him. That's why you have a ref, of course. We've never had the benefit of it before. Birds everywhere, by the way. Birds everywhere. Black birds. I don't mean blackbirds necessarily, but black birds.
Yeah, they're crows, Mark.
They're black birds is what they are,
Yeah,
Ref.
that's, yeah.
You're a crow.
Hey!
My ability to identify birds has already been well and truly demonstrated by previous episodes. I think to see everything. If I was looking around now, and rather than being a sort of moody grey, the sky was red and the trees were red, the grass was red, Rob was just all red. I think that'd be pretty disconcerting. Also, would be difficult to watch football matches and the like, because everything, any sports really. Although I did go to sports day thing last week, and my daughter's school played against the team, and they both were in all green. That's because of funding problems. So it'd be troubling only to be able to see red.
I have a question. Oh, who won that game? The Greens or the Greens?
The Greens won.
Come on, you Greens!
1-0, yes.
Come on, you Greens!
My girls' Greens won, but they were eliminated from the competition because they didn't play well enough for the first two games. A couple of them weren't, they didn't want it enough. I think, but to hear Holding Back the Years, which is a nice song, I think, and one, as Simply Red songs go, a good lilting sort of ballad, I suppose you'd call it, about the passing of time. But imagine hearing that on a loop for the rest of your life. I think it's unendurable. I don't think you could listen to any song on a loop forever. Even when you slept, you'd wake up and it'd be in your head. No, I think with the best respect in the world to Simply Red, it would be torture to hear that song, or any song, that
Time
many
check.
times.
Time check, 8 minutes, and we're giving Simply Red.
Yeah, look at that.
A simple
And
red
that's,
card
as I
for
say,
Simply Red.
nothing against Simply Red specifically. Some of their songs better than others, but I will say, and it's not the first time I've had to say something like this, it is very unfortunate to be in a situation where you have to choose between this oral torment and the erosion of all colour from your field of vision. And I don't understand how that happened. Can you explain the plot of the Christopher Nolan movie Tenet to me? Or nah? I appreciate your assistance in this matter. Unfortunately, nah. It was famously difficult to decipher, and also, I was drunk when I watched it. What do you deem to be the optimum quality of limbs? Your omniscient assistance on this troubling matter would be appreciated. Again, a very nice, almost pandering tone. Oh well, I think 4 limbs works pretty well. One of these, one of those, one of these, one of these. But some people are born without 4 limbs or lose limbs and things, and they also manage in very impressive ways. So while 4 is optimum, I think what I don't think you'd want is sort of 9 limbs. And I don't know if you're an octopus, big if, I don't know whether you use each of the 8. What do you think octopuses use all their, like in the same way you could be ambidextrous, you think an octopus can be sort of omnidextrous in that way?
I like to think that they do, yeah.
Yes, so we're just hearing, in fact, octopuses have a great time with 8 limbs. Fair play to them. And
we have 20 seconds to remain here, boys. So.
And then we have to, we'll see whether he adds any time on. Probably got time for one more.
Ref thinks it's a bit too noisy. Let's turn around and go back the other way.
Oh, look at that. First directional change mandated by the ref.
It's a bit late.
If you woke up as an animal, which one would be the best
and
one
that is
to
time,
wake up as?
That is time, Mark. But we have had a bit of dilly-dallying, such is life. So I'm going to add on an extra 2 minutes played.
2 more minutes played.
And off we
the
go.
board goes up with 2 on it.
2 minutes.
The referee has indicated a minimum of 2 minutes time added on, as they say in real football matches. Elephant, I think. Wake up as an elephant. I've got no complaints. I'm surprised, but I've got no complaints. And I tell you what, you wouldn't forget it.
Hey.
But also, I just think...
Yellow card for that pun. Sorry, Mark.
Really pun, is it? But fair play. Oh, hang on. We're in the sort of... I think we're in the way of a cyclist.
Bit of real world interaction. Here we go.
Oh, she's going the other way.
Same way. They've both gone the same way.
Thank you, just this way.
As I say, I think it'd be good to be an elephant.
Quick, we've lost the ref.
You waddle around being enormous. Everyone would love you. You could make that noise, and you could absolutely poo everywhere, which is the same for a lot of animals, actually. If you were cursed to sneeze every time you saw a blue car, how long would it take you to notice the correlation? Oh well, good question. I do sneeze quite a lot. I'm quite a sort of a sneezy person, but nonetheless, I think I'd notice quite quickly. I do. I think I'd soon start to suspect that I was allergic to blue cars in some way. But you don't see that many blue cars though. These days, a lot of cars are silver or other boring colours.
Speculation.
Sometimes I do speculation. I accept that. Just been reading a book about the Allied liberation of France in 1944, and I was going to ask a jokey question along the lines of, would it have made a difference if X had happened instead of Y? But instead, I'm going to ask, do you think that the total amount of productivity, both in terms of work and personal growth satisfaction, lost while we idly ponder what-if questions, would make a difference in our lives? Or nah? I think it's important sometimes to allow yourself the mental space to toy with what-if type possibilities. Might seem like a waste, but in a sense it's just a bit of creativity, and I don't think you can call creativity, imagination a waste. Having said that, sometimes you see people on the internet saying, yes, but what about this? And they are idiots.
Hey, idiots.
Yes, sorry, yeah, idiots.
One more time, idiots.
Yes, a lot of people are idiots. And that's it. Well, thank you, ref. What can I say? And well played, Alex, as well.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That has been, yes, how can I help, with guest referee Rob Copland. Thank you for the questions. I think that questions like that one about, the long one about the what if, are often quite fruitful. We had an early in the series with a question about how long it would take me to construct an entire Ben & Jerry's to scale and working. And so this is not, as always, a diktat, but among all of your content interactions, which are as appreciated as ever, I'd be particularly interested in some questions about how long it would take to do this or that, or speculative questions. I think the word speculation has come a few times. Speculative questions about what we might achieve were we put it together, put our efforts together, or what I could do, or all of those sort of things. I'm interested in speculative questions, but of course, as always, any and all questions are welcome in the comments. Thanks again to Rob, and keep watching, because stupid scooter. There we go.
Too fast.
Yeah, too fast, and for children. This is very. I don't think I'm not sure we've ever had a sort of vehicle or like one of those happen, whatever you call it, after the final whistle. We've not had a final whistle before, have we? Anyway, thanks for watching this. We call it content these days, and see you either next Tuesday or next Sunday or whenever Alex is able to get his shit together sufficiently. Bye.